The sky above the planet Orvian burned red with the light of explosions. Human ships and Tarian defense cruisers fought side by side, firing energy beams at the dark fleets of the invading warlord clans. The air shook with thunder as plasma fire crossed the sky. The ground was covered with smoke and ash. Soldiers ran through the ruins of crystal towers, shouting orders through the noise. Among them was Ryan, a young human medic from the United Earth Forces. His armor was scratched and covered in dust, but his eyes were steady. He carried a small medical pack on his back and a scanner on his wrist. While others fought, he ran into danger to pull the wounded to safety. Ryan had never seen a battle like this before. The Tarian people were taller than humans and had skin that shimmered like metal under light. Their voices carried a strange echo and their energy weapons sang with a tone humans could barely hear. Yet in the heat of battle, they fought side by side like brothers. "Medic Ryan, to the front line," his communicator shouted. "The royal convoy has been hit near the Crystal Valley. They need support." Ryan didn't hesitate. He grabbed his pack and ran toward the smoke. His boots slid across broken glass and scorched ground. The air was heavy with the smell of burning metal. The closer he got, the louder he heard the energy cannons firing in the distance. When he reached the valley, the scene before him made his heart stop. A Tarian royal transport lay on its side, its engines cracked and glowing. Guards in silver armor were forming a circle, trying to protect someone inside the wreckage. Ryan ran toward them, waving his medic beacon. "I am a medic. Let me through," he said. The guards looked at him with hesitation. One of them, wounded and limping, spoke through his mask. "Human, the princess is dying. We cannot find a match for her blood. Our healers are gone." Ryan felt his pulse quicken. He pushed through and saw her. The alien princess lay on a bed of cracked crystal. Her skin, a pale shade of blue, had lost its glow. Her breathing was weak, and a deep wound ran across her side where the energy blast had hit. Her golden eyes were half open, fading fast. Ryan dropped to his knees beside her and started scanning. The readings on his wrist device flashed red. "She's losing plasma too fast. If I don't act now, she won't make it." The guard knelt beside him. "Her name is Princess Leora. If she dies, our people will lose hope." Ryan swallowed hard. He checked the blood compatibility reading. The system beeped uncertainly. "Her blood type is not human. But wait, the proteins are similar to mine. It's a small chance, but it might work." The guard stared at him. "You cannot risk your life for this." "I have no choice," Ryan said. "If I don't, she dies." He pulled out a small transfusion kit from his medical bag. He linked the tubes and set the machine to equalize pressure. The moment he connected it, pain surged through his arm. He ignored it and watched as his blood flowed into the line, glowing faintly red against her blue veins. The scanner flashed warnings, but Ryan overrode them. "Come on, stay with me," he whispered. Minutes felt like hours. The air around them buzzed with strange energy as human blood mixed with Tarian plasma. Leora's breathing slowed even more, then suddenly steadied. The glow of her skin returned, faint but visible. Her heart readings stabilized. "It's working," Ryan said softly. Relief flooded through him, but then his body trembled. His heartbeat grew irregular, his vision blurred. He had given too much blood, and the alien biology reacted strangely with his own. His skin began to glow faintly, just like hers. The guards panicked, but he motioned for them to stay back. "Don't stop the flow," he said weakly. "She needs it all." The machine beeped as the transfusion completed. Ryan's arm slipped to the ground. His vision darkened, and the last thing he saw was Leora's golden eyes slowly opening, filled with faint light. Then everything went black. When Ryan woke up, everything was quiet. He was lying in a soft medical bed surrounded by dim blue light. His arm was wrapped in a silver bandage. He tried to sit up but felt dizzy. A tall Tarian healer stood beside him. "You should not move," the healer said calmly. "You are safe now." Ryan blinked. "The princess. Is she alive?" The healer smiled gently. "Yes. She breathes because of you. The queen herself has sent word of gratitude. Your blood did what our science could not." Ryan let out a slow breath. He had saved her. The exhaustion hit him all at once, but the thought filled him with warmth. Then it was worth it, he said. Later that day, the Tarian guards came and escorted him outside. The battlefield was gone. The warlord ships had retreated, defeated by the combined forces of humans and Tarians. The sky was clear again, glowing with twin suns. He saw Princess Leora standing under a crystal arch. She was weak, but standing tall, her robe shimmering softly. When she turned to him, her golden eyes met his, and she smiled. "You are the human who gave your blood," she said. Her voice had a calm music to it. "You saved my life." Ryan bowed his head slightly. "I only did what any soldier would do." "No," she said. "What you did was more than duty. You risked your life for someone you did not know." He didn't know what to say. There was something about her presence that made the air feel lighter. She stepped closer, and he noticed faint red lines glowing on her wrist, matching the same glow faintly visible on his own. The healer noticed too and looked concerned. "The bond," the healer whispered. "It has formed." Ryan frowned. "What bond?" The healer explained. "When your blood mixed, a link was created between your life energies. It is not something we have seen before. Your heart and hers now share a faint resonance. When she feels pain, you may feel it too." Ryan stared at the faint light under his skin. "That doesn't sound possible." "It is beyond science," the healer said. "It is the joining of two life forces." Princess Leora looked at him with calm curiosity. "Then our fates are now connected, human. Your courage has bound us." Before Ryan could respond, a royal envoy arrived. The Queen's insignia glowed on their armor. One of them spoke in a deep, formal tone. "Medic Rian of Earth, by command of Her Majesty Queen Siral, you are summoned to the royal palace of Orvian. The Queen wishes to meet the one who saved her daughter." Ryan nodded slowly. He had never expected to stand before an alien queen, but there was no turning back now. The guards led him to a sleek silver transport that hovered above the ground. As it rose into the air, he looked down at the battlefield below. The scars of war were still visible, but peace had returned, at least for now. Inside the transport, Leora sat across from him, studying him quietly. "You humans are strange," she said softly. "You fight with great fury, but you also heal with great kindness. You gave your blood for me. Why?" Ryan thought for a moment before answering. "Because life is precious. Doesn't matter if it's human or Tarian. If I can save it, I will." Her golden eyes softened. "Then maybe there is much we can learn from your people." The transport passed over glowing rivers and cities made of crystal towers. The beauty of Orvian amazed him. But something inside him felt strange. His heartbeat seemed to echo faintly with hers. Every time she looked at him, he felt a soft pulse in his chest. When they reached the palace, the doors opened to reveal a vast hall filled with light and energy. The Queen of Orvian awaited him on a high platform, her presence radiant and commanding. Her eyes glowed brighter than Leora's, and her voice filled the chamber like music. "Human," the Queen said, "you have saved my daughter when even our greatest healers could not. You have shown courage and heart. For this, you have the gratitude of the Tarian kingdom." Ryan bowed respectfully. "I was only doing my duty, Your Majesty." The Queen smiled slightly, but her gaze lingered on the faint glow under his skin. "And yet in doing your duty, you have bound yourself to my daughter in ways neither of our kinds fully understand." The room grew quiet. Ryan looked at his arm again. The light beneath his skin pulsed faintly, matching the rhythm of the princess's heartbeat. The Queen's voice softened. "You have given her life, but you may have given her part of your own as well. For that we must learn more. Until we understand this bond, you must stay on Orvian." Rian felt the weight of her words. He had saved a life, but now his own life might never be the same. As he stood there, looking at the shining walls of the alien palace and the glowing city beyond, He realized this was only the beginning of a story that would change not only him, but the future of two worlds forever. The royal palace of Orvian stood like a mountain of shining glass above the city. Every tower reflected light and colors Rian had never seen before. Energy moved through the walls like flowing water, making the whole structure seem alive. When the transport ship landed on a broad platform, Rian followed the guards in silence. His boots echoed softly against the smooth floor. Princess Leora walked beside him, her steps graceful, though she still looked weak from her wound. A pair of royal healers followed behind them, watching her closely. The air inside the palace felt heavy with power. Strange symbols glowed faintly along the walls, pulsing like heartbeats. Rian could not stop thinking about what the queen had said earlier. He had given blood, but somehow that act had tied his life to Leora's. He did not understand how such a thing could happen. He was a medic, not a scientist. All he knew was that something inside him felt different. His chest sometimes pulsed with a warm light, especially when Leora came close. They entered the main hall and Rian felt small before its size. The queen sat upon a throne made of silver crystal. Her eyes glowed like suns and her long robe shimmered in blue and white. Around her stood royal guards and advisors, all watching Rian with curiosity. When he reached the center of the hall, he bowed. "Your Majesty," he said in a steady voice. Queen Siral nodded slowly. "Rian of Earth, you have done what few would dare. You gave your blood to save my daughter. You risked your life for a being not of your kind. For that our world owes you a great debt." Rian looked up. "I only did what I thought was right, Your Majesty." The queen studied him with eyes that seemed to see through everything. "You are humble, but your action has created something we cannot ignore. Our healers have examined both you and the princess. They believe your blood has bonded with her life energy. Do you feel anything unusual?" Rian hesitated. "Sometimes I feel a pulse, like a heartbeat that is not mine. When the princess is near, it grows stronger." The queen nodded. "As we thought. The bond is real. It connects you both. If you were to leave Orvian without control of it, it could cause harm to you or to my daughter." Leora looked at her mother. "He should not be treated like a prisoner." "He saved my life." Queen Siral's expression softened but did not change much. "He will not be harmed. But he must remain here until we understand this link. It is for his safety and for yours." Rian's chest tightened. "You mean I cannot go back to my ship?"
"Not yet," the queen said firmly.
"Our scientists will study the bond. If we can find a way to safely separate it, you will be free to leave." Rian nodded slowly. He understood her concern, but the thought of being trapped on another world made him uneasy. Still, he was a soldier, and soldiers followed orders when needed. The queen turned to one of her advisors. "Take him to the guest quarters. He is not to leave the palace grounds without permission." Rian bowed again and followed the guards through a long corridor. The walls shimmered like flowing light. The air smelled faintly of ozone and flowers. His room was large and clean, with a soft bed and a window that looked out over the glowing city. When the guards left, Rian sat down and stared at his hand. Faint red lines glowed beneath his skin, slowly pulsing with rhythm. He could feel Leora's presence somewhere far inside his mind. Like a soft whisper he could not hear clearly. It was strange and unsettling. As night fell over the city, he could not sleep. His body felt tired, but his mind was full of questions. Why did his blood react that way? Why him? Was there something special about humans, or was it just a strange accident? Before dawn, he heard a soft knock on the door. When he opened it, Leora stood outside wearing a light robe of white silk. Her golden eyes shone faintly in the dim light. "May I come in?" she asked. Rian stepped aside. "Of course, princess," she smiled gently. "You do not have to call me princess all the time. My name is Leora, you can use it." Rian nodded. "All right, Leora. What brings you here so early?" She looked out the window. "I could feel your worry. The bond lets me sense your thoughts, not your words, but your feelings. You were restless," Rian was surprised. "You can feel that?" "Yes," she said softly. "When you are calm, the bond feels peaceful. When you are afraid, it trembles. I have never felt anything like this before." Rian sighed. "It's strange for me, too. I don't understand how it happened." Leora turned to face him. "Our healers say your blood carries energy unlike ours. It healed me, but it also touched the life force inside me. Maybe your species and mine are more connected than we knew." He smiled slightly. "Maybe. Humans often believe that courage and compassion are stronger than fear. Maybe that's what made it work." She smiled back. Then your courage saved not just me, but the peace between our peoples." They stood in silence for a while, looking at the city lights below. The towers shimmered with soft light, and the sky above was filled with moving stars. Later that morning, palace scientists came to study him. They brought strange devices that glowed when near his skin. They took samples of his blood and compared them with Leora's energy readings. One of the scientists, a calm Terrian named Marin, explained what they found. "The bond is not simply biological," Marin said. "It is energetic. Your blood carries a type of energy signature that reacted with the princess's life force. It created a field that connects you both. If one of you were to leave the planet now, the field might collapse," Ryan frowned. "And that would kill us?" "It could," Marin said carefully. "Or it might cause other effects we do not yet understand." The Queen entered the chamber then, her presence filling the room. "That is why you must stay, Ryan of Earth. I will not risk my daughter's life. You are under my protection until we can find a solution." Ryan met her eyes. "With respect, Your Majesty, I want to help, but I cannot stay here forever. My people will want answers." The Queen looked at him with calm authority. "They will be informed. I will speak to your commander, but understand this. Your blood now carries something of my daughter's essence, and hers carries yours. Until that is safe, neither of you can be apart." Leora lowered her head. "Mother, he does not deserve to be held here." The Queen touched her daughter's shoulder. "He is not a prisoner. He is an honored guest, but he must remain close for both your sakes." That night, Rian sat on the palace balcony looking up at the stars. He thought about Earth, his home, his friends on the fleet, and the life he had left behind. The sound of the wind over the crystal towers was soft, almost like music. Leora came again, this time carrying 2 cups of glowing blue tea. She handed one to him. "It helps calm the mind," she said. He took a sip. It was warm and sweet. "Thank you." They sat together in silence. After a while, Leora spoke. "Do you wish you had never helped me?" Ryan looked at her. "Never. I would do it again, even knowing what happened." She smiled softly. "You humans have strong hearts," he laughed a little. "Sometimes that gets us into trouble." They both smiled, but the warmth between them was mixed with worry. Neither of them knew what the future held. The next day, strange things began to happen. During a royal ceremony, Leora suddenly felt weak and nearly collapsed. At that same moment, Rian, who was in another room, clutched his chest as if struck by invisible pain. The guards rushed both of them to the healers. When they recovered, the scientists grew more concerned. "The bond is growing stronger," Marin said. "It now reacts instantly to changes in either of you. If one of you is hurt, the other will feel it." The Queen's face grew serious. "Then we must act quickly. I will not allow my daughter's life to depend on another's." She ordered her scientists to begin deeper study, using old records of Terrian life energy experiments. Ryan realized the Queen was growing afraid. He understood her fear, but part of him also felt trapped. He wanted to help, but he needed freedom too. As the sun set again over Orvion, Rian stood on the balcony with Leora beside him. The glow beneath their skin pulsed in rhythm. They both felt it, that invisible thread tying them together. Leora looked at him quietly. "You will not be able to leave, Ryan, not yet. My mother will not allow it. But I will help you. We will find a way to break the bond without harm." Rian nodded. "Then we'll face this together." The wind carried the sound of distant energy towers humming through the night. 2 lives, 1 human and 1 Terrian, stood side by side under twin moons, bound by blood and fate, not knowing that what had started as an act of mercy would soon test the power of both their worlds. The palace of Orvion was quieter now, but the air felt heavier to Rian. The bond with Princess Leora had grown stronger in the days since their first connection. Sometimes he felt her presence even when she was across the palace, like a faint echo inside his chest. It was not painful, yet it was impossible to ignore. Early that morning, Ryan sat in the palace training yard. He had tried to learn more about Terrian culture and combat techniques. The human fleet had sent reports about Orvion, but Rian knew he could not leave yet. His body and hers were connected in ways neither science nor magic could fully explain. Leora appeared, her robe flowing as she walked toward him. Her golden eyes were brighter today, showing both curiosity and concern. "Rian," she said softly, "we need to talk. Something happened last night," he frowned. "What is it?" "When I slept, I felt your pulse clearly in my mind. It was not just a heartbeat. It was like your energy was moving through me, shaping my dreams. I do not know if it is dangerous, but it is new. Rian pressed his hand against his chest. I felt the same thing. I thought it was normal, but it must be the bond strengthening. She nodded. It is stronger. I can feel your emotions more clearly. If you are afraid or anxious, I feel it too. If you are calm, I feel calm. I have never known anything like this. Rian took a deep breath. Then we are truly connected. Not just in life, but in feeling. They walked through the palace gardens together. The flowers glowed softly with energy, and the air shimmered with the same quiet hum Ryan had noticed since he arrived. He could sense the subtle pulsing of the Tarian energy, but it was different now. Something about his own blood was changing the flow around Leora. Your species, Leora said. You heal in ways we cannot. Your blood carries something more than life. It carries courage and determination. Maybe that is why you survived and I survived. Ryan smiled faintly. Or maybe it is just chance. Humans have always taken risks to protect others. That is what I did. Leora studied him closely. You are not like the others. Your spirit is different. You give without expecting anything in return. That is rare. Before Rian could reply, alarms rang across the palace. The sound was sharp, cutting through the quiet air. The guards rushed past them. A loud voice echoed through the halls. Attention! Energy readings rising in the northern wing. Unknown fluctuations detected. Ryan's stomach tightened. He knew the bond was connected to her energy, but he did not expect it to trigger palace alarms. Come with me, Leora said. She led him to the northern wing, where a group of scientists and healers were gathered around glowing panels. Energy readings danced across their devices. Marin, the calm Tarian scientist, turned to Ryan. The bond is reacting to your presence. The energy levels are increasing rapidly. If it continues, it could destabilize her internal systems. Rian looked at Leora. She was standing perfectly still, but her golden eyes flickered with the same glow that ran beneath his skin. He could feel a strange warmth in his chest, as if their life forces were merging briefly. What can we do? He asked. Marin shook his head. We do not know yet. We have never seen a bond this strong. Normally, energy links are small and temporary. This one is permanent unless controlled. Leora stepped closer to Rian. Then we must control it ourselves. I can focus my energy, but I need your help. Ryan nodded. Tell me what to do. They stood together, hands almost touching. Slowly, they tried to align their breathing and thoughts. Ryan concentrated on his calmest memories, the moments when he had saved others on the battlefield. Leora mirrored him, drawing strength from her life force and the hope she had felt when he saved her. The energy around them pulsed, faintly at first, then stronger. Light ran across their skin like threads connecting them. The palace instruments started beeping, recording levels far higher than ever seen. Suddenly, a surge of energy erupted. Both Ryan and Leora stumbled backward. The light beneath their skin flared brightly. Guards rushed forward, but the Queen's voice stopped them. Stand back, she commanded. This is their bond. Let them control it. The Queen watched silently as the two tried to steady themselves. Ryan felt a sudden rush of power. His body tingled, his senses sharpened. He could feel the walls of the palace, the flow of energy in the gardens, and the faint presence of everyone nearby. Most of all, he felt Leora. Her life force was strong yet fragile. It matched his own in rhythm and pulse. You are stronger than I expected, Leora whispered. Rian nodded. So are you. The energy pulsed again, but this time it was controlled. Slowly, the glow beneath their skin dimmed to a faint shimmer. Both of them stood still, breathing hard but unharmed. Marin stepped forward, eyes wide. Incredible. The bond is not only stable, it can be directed. If they continue training, they might control it fully. The Queen looked at Rian with a mix of awe and fear. You have a power unlike any human or Tarian. But I see the danger. If you lose control, the consequences could be catastrophic. Ryan bowed slightly. I understand, Your Majesty. I will not misuse it, she nodded. Good, but know this, young human. Your presence here changes more than your life. It may change the future of Orvion itself. Over the next few days, Ryan and Leora practiced controlling the bond. They learned to communicate without words, feeling each other's intentions and emotions. When one moved, the other could sense the movement before it happened. When one felt pain, the other felt a sharp echo, teaching them caution and trust. Yet even as they trained, the Queen grew more cautious. She summoned Ryan one morning to her chambers. Rian, she said, your bond with my daughter is extraordinary, but I fear what it might bring. You cannot leave the palace until we understand it fully. I cannot allow either of you to be harmed. Ryan felt a tightness in his chest. I understand your concern, Your Majesty, but I am not here to be trapped. I want to help, but I also want to return to my own people someday. The Queen studied him for a long moment. You are honorable. That is why I do not doubt your intentions. But honor does not change the dangers of the bond. You must remain. For now, your duty is to stay and train. Later, when we are certain it is safe, you may choose your path. Ryan bowed. He felt frustrated but understood her reasoning. I will obey, Your Majesty. That night he walked with Leora through the palace gardens. The twin moons of Orvion cast silver light over the glowing flora. Do you ever feel trapped by this? He asked quietly. Leora looked at him. I do. The bond ties us together, and yet I feel its strength. I cannot ignore it, but I also cannot let it control us. We must learn to master it, or it will master us. Rian nodded. Then we face it together. We will find a way to control it fully. They stood side by side, watching the energy light shimmer in the distance. For the first time, Rian felt that he was not alone in facing this challenge. The bond was more than a connection. It was a test of courage, trust, and patience. Over the next few days, strange occurrences increased. Ryan noticed he could feel more than just Leora's presence. When a healer touched her to check her pulse, he felt the faint pressure in his own chest. When she laughed, he heard the echo inside his mind. Even across long distances in the palace, he could sense her moods and energy levels. Marin came to him one evening, speaking quietly. Ryan, the bond has reached a point where separation may be impossible without a special process. If one of you were injured, the other would feel it immediately. You must be cautious. Every action you take could affect the other. Rian nodded gravely. I understand. I will be careful. The Queen entered the room, her presence commanding. I see you have learned caution. Good. But remember, you are not only bound to my daughter. You are now bound to the Tarian kingdom. Your actions carry responsibility beyond yourself. Rian lowered his head. I will do my best, Your Majesty. Leora placed a hand on his arm. We will learn this together, and we will protect each other. As the night fell, the twin moons of Orvion shone over the city. The bond pulsed faintly beneath their skin, a quiet reminder of the connection that could not be broken. Ryan realized that what had begun as a simple act of courage had grown into something far greater. It was a test of heart, strength, and unity. The bond had awakened, and with it a new chapter of their lives had begun. Two worlds now shared a link that would challenge their courage, their loyalty, and their future. The bond between Rian and Leora had grown stronger with each passing day. They could sense each other's feelings, moods, and even subtle physical sensations. The faint glow beneath their skin pulsed like a heartbeat, reminding them constantly that they were connected. Even the Queen had begun to show signs of concern. One morning, Ryan received a message from the orbiting human fleet. The communication came through a secure channel only he could access. Medic Ryan, the voice of his commander, said, We have analyzed the data from your last scans. The bond is unique. We believe a controlled procedure may allow you to safely separate from the princess, but it will be extremely difficult and risky. Your life will be in danger, Rian swallowed. I understand, Commander.
What do I need to do?
The voice continued. We have developed a device that can channel your combined life energy safely. It will need to draw both of your forces into a controlled discharge. If successful, the bond can be released without harm, but it requires full cooperation from both of you and precise control over your energy. Ryan looked down at his hands. The faint glow under his skin pulsed in rhythm with Leora's. I will try, he said quietly. But she must agree. I cannot do this alone. He immediately sought Leora. She was in the palace gardens walking among the glowing flowers. When she saw him, her golden eyes reflected a mixture of curiosity and concern. What is it? She asked. Rian explained everything he had learned from the fleet. He described the device and the procedure. It will be dangerous, he said, but if it works, we can safely separate. We will be free to move without risking each other's lives. Leora's eyes widened. It sounds frightening, but I want to live freely too. I do not want to be tied to you against my will. If this is the way, then I will do it with you. They agreed to proceed, but the Queen's reaction was another challenge. When Rian and Leora presented their plan, Queen Soral's expression was grim. You wish to risk both your lives? She asked. You do not understand the power of this bond. If anything goes wrong, one or both of you could die. How can I allow such a thing? Ryan stepped forward. Your Majesty, I understand your fear. But staying like this is not safe either. The bond is growing stronger every day. We cannot predict what may happen if it continues unchecked. The Queen remained silent for a long moment, her glowing eyes studying them both. Finally, she spoke. Very well. You may attempt it, but it will be under the supervision of the palace healers and my scientists. I will not let my daughter's life be endangered unnecessarily. The palace transformed into a place of preparation. Rian and Leora were taken to an ancient chamber beneath the palace known as the Hall of Energies. The walls shimmered with flowing light and strange runes glowed softly. According to Tarian legend, the first kings of Orvion had trained their spirits here, connecting with the energy of the planet itself. Marin explained the procedure. You will stand here hand in hand focusing your energy. The device will channel your life forces into a controlled release. It is critical that your focus is absolute. Any hesitation or fear may destabilize the discharge. Ryan looked at Leora. We can do this. Together. She nodded, placing her hand in his. Together, they took their positions. The device, a silver platform with crystals that glowed brighter with their presence, hummed with energy. Ryan could feel the bond thrumming through him, stronger than ever. The pulse in his chest matched Leora's heartbeat, fast and bright. Focus on me, Leora whispered. Do not fear. Ryan closed his eyes. He thought of every moment that had brought them here, the battle, the transfusion, the growing connection, and the trust they had built. He allowed his courage to guide him, letting his energy flow toward hers without resistance. The crystals around them began to glow brighter. The light surged across the chamber, following the rhythm of their shared pulse. A soft wind rose from the walls, moving as if alive. Suddenly, the energy flared violently. Ryan staggered, feeling the rush of Leora's life force mingle with his own. It was intense, almost unbearable. He could sense every fear, every heartbeat, every thought of the princess. Hold on, he whispered, his teeth gritted. We can control this. We have to. Leora's voice was steady, though strained. I am with you. Don't let go. The surge grew stronger. Light flashed across their skin, tracing intricate patterns like threads connecting them. Their hearts beat together, matching in speed and strength. Ryan felt a sharp pain in his chest as if his own life was being drawn toward the crystals, but he clenched his jaw and focused. Breathe, Leora said. Synchronize with me. Let the energy flow, do not resist. Slowly, Ryan followed her guidance. He let go of fear and concentrated only on balance and trust. The surge became steady, less chaotic. The light pulsed in harmony with their heartbeats. Marin monitored the readings nervously. The energy is stabilizing. Keep it steady. Do not falter. The Queen stood nearby, watching silently. Her hands rested on the edge of the chamber. The tension in her body was clear, but she did not intervene. She trusted the human and the princess to succeed. Minutes passed, though it felt like hours. Ryan felt his body burning with effort. Every muscle strained, every nerve pulsed. But he could feel Leora's presence steadying him. Together they formed a perfect rhythm. Finally, the crystals glowed with a blinding white light. The pulse of energy surged upward and then settled. A quiet hush fell over the chamber. Rian opened his eyes. The glow beneath his skin had dimmed. Leora's eyes, golden as ever, no longer reflected his pulse. He felt her presence nearby, warm but no longer entwined with his own life force. They both collapsed to their knees, exhausted but unharmed. The chamber was filled with soft light, fading as the energy settled into the crystals. Marin approached cautiously. It worked. The bond has been separated. You are no longer connected in life force. You are free to move independently. Ryan looked at Leora. Relief flooded him. We did it, she smiled faintly. Yes, I can feel myself again. But somehow I feel like part of you remains with me. He nodded. That is natural. Bonds like ours leave traces, memories, and energy imprints. We cannot undo everything, but we are alive, and that is what matters. The Queen approached, her expression a mixture of pride and relief. You have succeeded where I feared failure. You have shown courage, discipline, and respect for life. The bond is broken, yet your connection remains in trust and understanding. You honor both our people and your own. Ryan bowed. Thank you, Your Majesty. We only did what was necessary. Leora stepped forward. I will never forget this. And neither will he. The Queen's gaze softened. Then you have my blessing. You may continue to live freely. knowing that your actions have strengthened the bond between humans and Tarians in more ways than one. Remember, courage and compassion are as powerful as any weapon. As Ryan and Leora left the chamber, the palace felt lighter. The strange tension that had hung in the air for weeks was gone. They walked together through the gardens, laughing softly despite their exhaustion. Ryan looked at Leora. "We faced it together, and we survived." "That counts for more than anything else," she nodded. "Yes, and we will face the future together too. Our experiences have made us stronger, wiser, and ready for anything." The twin moons of Orvion reflected in their eyes, and the city below shimmered with soft energy. For the first time since he had arrived, Ryan felt fully at peace. He had risked everything, but he had proven not only his courage but also the strength of human heart and spirit. The queen watched from a distance, a proud smile touching her lips. Ryan had saved her daughter, controlled an impossible bond, and survived. She knew then that humans were truly a species to be respected. Ryan realized something profound as he stood with Leora under the glowing night sky. Courage, compassion, and trust had saved them. It was not only human strength but also human heart that had triumphed. And that victory, he knew, was only the beginning of what humans could achieve on Orvion and beyond.